Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sightless Voices, Unleashing Potential. I'm your hostie with the mostie, Jennifer Parrish, and today's guest brings a story of love, resilience, and strength that emerges when life takes an unexpected turn. We are joined by Cindy Larotta. She is a mother, an advocate, and an author whose journey began the moment her son Elio entered the world. Elio was born without eyes, and she quickly had to learn what it means to raise a child who experiences the world differently. Cindy has built a life anchored on community, hope, and the joy of watching her son thrive. But additionally, she is an author. She's the author of Elio Ever After, A Story for All, which is a beautiful children's book inspired by her son's journey and the universal message that every child deserves to be seen, valued, and celebrated. So, Cindy, welcome.
Hi,
Thank you so much for being here. To begin, why don't you just introduce yourself and then tell us a little about Elio and his vision loss?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Cindy. A little bit about Elio and myself. Oh, where do I start? So Elio is my special little guy. He was born without eyes. He has a SOX2 gene deletion. He was actually the first visually impaired person that I ever met in my entire life. Oh. So I was thrown into this world unexpected about SOX2 gene deletion. It's pretty much like a genetic disorder where the eye gene is deleted, and there's a lot of other things that come along with that, and it's different for every kid. For him, he's been doing really great. He's walking and talking and being very independent. He's very curious about the world. He's a social butterfly. He loves to go out and he gives everyone hugs. He's just so full of love and light, and he inspires me every single day. So
before we continue, of course, we always describe our set for our blind and low vision viewers. We're seated in blue chairs with wooden tables beside us. Behind us is a white brick wall with blue lighting and a glowing neon lighthouse sign. Mm-hmm. So take us back to the day that Elio was born. So, many parents imagine what their child's future is going to be like way before they're born. I was born with a vision impairment, so my parents had to figure it out at 19, like, what the hell, what is this? What is this? And I'm sure my mom's out there going, yep. So I'm sure you can absolutely relate to this. So What kind of emotions came up at this moment?
Yeah, so I was shocked. They didn't tell me anything during pregnancy. Everything went great during my pregnancy. We had a full term pregnancy as well, and so it was very shocking. He never opened his eyes, and I just kept asking all of the nurses and doctors, when is he going to open his eyes? And they didn't have an answer. They were like, oh, well, it's probably just swollen. He'll probably open his eyes soon. And he was actually born at 12:12 a.m. on Good Friday.
Wow.
So he's my little angel baby. And so around 4 a.m. is whenever they came in and they said he doesn't have any eyes. And it's hard to describe the emotions that I experienced because I was in total shock. I just couldn't comprehend that someone could be born with no eyes. I had never heard of that before in my life. And then, of course, I start to think about I started spiraling, thinking about all the things that he's going to be going through in his life. And if this is the first visually impaired person I had ever met, I, automatically thought the worst and assumed the worst. And I didn't know anything about this world yet. So I was just scared, and it was very traumatizing for me. I didn't have a lot of support from family, so I was just very, I was just traumatized and worried about the future.
Right. And in the early days, so what was that like? I'm sure there was a ton of medical appointments and testing and all the things. So
oh, yeah.
How was that?
Oh, yeah. So the hospital that we were at had never seen this before. So they were calling different hospitals. They were wondering why did this happen, and it almost felt like everyone was putting the blame on me. So then I had this
Oh my gosh.
heavy layer of guilt, where I just felt so horrible. And of course the hormones, the depletion of hormones and postpartum. It was just a horrible combination, and I felt like the worst mother ever, and it was just so heavy. And luckily for me, Elio's dad was a huge support for me, and getting through all of the appointments and doctor's appointments. And it was just appointment after appointment and trying to figure out how this happened. And we pretty much came to the conclusion that it was just a random gene deletion. It didn't come from me or dad. And so Elio just chose to be like this. And he, him being born at 12 a.m., really, I keep reminding myself that he really wanted to be this way for whatever reason. And I have to just accept him and support him. And he is born perfectly. And that just kind of helped get me through all of the struggles at the beginning, because there was a lot. Definitely.
I'm sure. So how you kind of alluded to it, but how did you find strength when everything felt like so overwhelming and unfamiliar?
Yeah, so that was very difficult at the beginning. I don't think I really had any strength at the beginning. For the first 6 months, I remember I counted every single day. I cried all day, every day, and it was so overwhelming and so intense. And really what helped me get through that was Elio's dad. He was very supportive, and he was very positive about the entire situation. And at the end of those 6 months is whenever I finally just said, you know what, I have to make the best out of this situation. I can't just be thinking the worst. And I think what also helped was getting informed. I just dove into this world of visual impairment and how they experience the world. I talked with a lot of people that are visually impaired. I read a lot of books. We got a mobility and orientation teacher and a visual impairment teacher, and I just started bombarding them with questions and just learning everything that I could. And once I learned a lot about this world, I started to feel a lot better. Like, okay, I can do this. He can do this. This isn't a disability or a challenge. It's just a different way of living, and we can navigate through this with strength and with love.
Yeah, everybody says that, and it's so true. It's just different. It's different. You know what I mean? And then what do you wish people understood about raising a blind child?
Everything.
I want to know this answer because, again, my mama too, holy moly.
Oh, it's everything. I mean, to the eating and
yes.
And, people don't understand that 70 to 80% of your learning comes from visual stimulation.
Right.
You seeing how someone interacts with the world, you seeing someone's mouth move to then replicate that, to then talk, seeing how they're chewing, seeing how people are interacting with each other. It's quite literally everything. And I have to show him all of these things and be so engaged and so on point and on my game to be able to explain to him in detail what's happening around him and what's happening to him, or else he will never understand. And most people could never fathom something so detailed and so intense. And so it's interesting when people come to me and they're so confused, but I do like to educate them. I think it's important that people understand that it's not easy raising a visually impaired child. It takes a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it.
Absolutely. How old is Elio?
He just turned 3.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. So we got a whole bunch of stuff ready for him over here at the Lighthouse.
Yes,
we'll talk about that later. What dreams do you have for Elio as he grows, and not in terms of sight, but in terms of, joy and confidence and possibilities?
Yeah, so I have a lot of dreams for him. I have a lot of aspirations for myself, so I'm going to hold him to those same standards. And I obviously want him to have no limitations on his way of thinking. I want him to go into every scenario throughout life with just being confident and positive and inspirational to people around him. I want him to do whatever he wants to do, and I'll always support him no matter what. I just truly want him to live life with unconditional love, spreading unconditional love, and just be happy and just keep it simply just like that. Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's talk about your book because this is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you wrote a book inspired by Elio. So what sparked the idea for Elio Ever After?
Well, my unconditional love for him, of course. I just have so much love, and I tend to create things for people that I really love. And it also stemmed from seeing some really sad things online. I'm in some Facebook group chats and groups where the visual impairment parents post all the time. And I kept seeing a lot of parents posting about how their 6-year-olds or even 10-year-olds are sad that they're visually impaired, and that they feel when people come and ask them questions about their visual impairment that they feel bad about themselves. And that really just broke my heart. And so I thought, I have to start implementing these almost subliminal messages within him to grow this confidence within him, so he doesn't feel that way later on when kids or adults are asking him things. And even adults would come up to me and assume, they would say, "Oh, he's going to live such a hard life. I'm so sorry."
Oh, gosh.
Or I know. Or they would say,
oh my gosh.
or they'd say even worse things like, kids are going to be scared of him at the playground because he has no eyes. I'm like, oh my gosh. I
That's
know.
awful.
So intense,
Okay,
right?
people.
I know.
Anyway.
I'm like, come on, guys. So it really sparked this within me to say, I want to educate the public. I want to educate everyone. And I also want to grow this confidence within Elio. And this is his bedtime story. I recorded it so he listens to it every night. If I don't actually tell him the story as well, we made a Braille version as well as the tactile version that hopefully we can do soon for all the other visual impaired kids.
How cool.
But it was pretty much sparked from wanting to just empower him and empower other children. And then also, of course, most importantly, for all the sighted children to be able to kind of take a moment to stop, ground yourself, and realize that there's more to life than just sight. There truly is. Whenever
So
you
much
tap
more.
into those other senses, you're in a whole nother world.
Exactly. Does he read? Is he reading Braille yet? Like, kind of, sort of?
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing books since he was born, so he's obsessed. He's been flipping the pages since he's 1 years old, and he'll
sweet.
scan for the Braille, and he loves it. I'm obsessed with making him 3D books, and I'll glue things in there, and I'm obsessed. I'm very crafty, so he loves it. He's been into that since he was teeny tiny.
So good. Yeah, just get them started early. I mean,
Yes.
that's the advice I would give to you, and you're doing it. I mean, I know my parents were like, you're going to learn everything all the time, every time. So I was reading
Yeah.
Braille when I was 4, and, you
Yeah.
got to get him going early because
Yep.
he's going to be smarter than everybody else. Watch.
Yep.
I'm here to tell you, sister.
Yeah.
So what message do you want children and parents to take away from the story?
I really want them to take away that anything is possible and to just accept everyone for who they are and just live life with love.
Nice. And then how has sharing your story publicly opened doors for connection, awareness, or healing?
So that's opened up a lot of doors. It's been kind of interesting because I didn't have a lot of family support with Elio being born visually impaired. Unfortunately, my parents don't really understand or really support that, which really blows my mind. I don't know how you couldn't love this bundle of joy that's so beautiful and bright. So it's really opened the doors for community, and I have gotten so much love and support from strangers, and it's been so inspiring to be able to get that kind of support and then be able to give that support to other people that may need it. And we've gone connected with so many people around Texas or even around the world, actually. And the Lighthouse, of course, we just went to the Children's Museum yesterday, and we're getting connected with that community. And I would love for this community to be even louder too and even more connected, because I'm noticing, like at the Children's Museum, that they've been there for 30-something years and they don't have any Braille stickers anywhere.
Come on, Children's Museum.
That's crazy.
Let's do better, guys.
That's crazy to me.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's wild. Because I mean, it's not difficult.
Yeah.
And they can contact us and we can help them do that probably.
Yes, absolutely. So we are all going to be in contact because I gave them your contact and everything like that. So the community is amazing. I love the lighthouse, especially because without this in Austin, we don't have anything like this actually. So we constantly come to Houston to do activities and events at the lighthouse.
So you live in Austin?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay. So did you come up here just for this?
Pretty much.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
What about were you looking at TSBVI yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we've looked into that. Our one of our visual impairment specialist teachers, she actually worked there for many years. And so what I understand is that you have to be in school, enrolled in school. And then if you're kind of falling behind or struggling with something, they can implement some things over at that school. But you can't just attend full time, which is really unfortunate, but I would love to start creating some events over there in Austin. I was kind of in the works with doing that, and then Elio's dad unfortunately passed away, so we had to stop all of that, but we were in the works of getting some children's events together over there and some play dates for the visually impaired children and things like that. So I'm going to try to start that up again soon because it's very important to me for community.
So you mentioned losing Elio's father recently. This is another whole layer of grief on top of, Elio's diagnosis. How did you manage that?
So I'm still trying to manage it. It's something that it's like you said, it's a whole nother layer that I have to now deal with and navigate with, and also think about how I'm going to introduce that to Elio as he's growing up and asking about his dad. He still asks for his dad every single day. And it's also something that I'm trying to learn how to navigate with how he passed. He unfortunately was struggling with mental health and wasn't able to overcome that. And so I want to make sure that Elio can stay mentally strong. I want to make sure that if he's ever feeling, any sort of negative thoughts or emotions or overwhelmed with stress or the external pressures of the world, that he feels safe enough to talk about that with the community, with me, with other people, and ask for help. And I think it's important that everyone feels, that they're not alone, that they can ask for help from anyone, whether it even just be a stranger. And there's people like, me, who could be a stranger, and I'll always be a listening ear and be supportive and things like that. And I'm not the only person like this in the world. So it's a struggle and it's a challenge every day. To deal with those emotions and to deal with the idea of what happened and thinking about the future and being a single mom now to Elio. But I feel like I have him now as this guardian angel that is putting so much power and strength into me to help me move forward and help me be a voice for him and for mental health awareness, and as well as for the visual impaired children and children in general all around the world. And it's a struggle. It's difficult, and I don't know if I'll ever overcome it or get over it, but I'm definitely learning a lot through this experience, and I hope that I can inspire others with my story and what I've gone through. And it's so heavy and it's so deep and intense. I hope that other people that are going through struggles can find some sort of silver lining within their experience after hearing that other people have gone through things that are also really traumatic and harsh as well.
Again, you drove all the way up here and you come up here for all of our lighthouse stuff. So tell us about, your connection to the Lighthouse of Houston. So what resources and things like that have been most meaningful for you and Elio?
Yeah, so he's teeny tiny. He's a little baby right now. We've been coming since he was first born. So there wasn't too many things that he could do just yet at the lighthouse, but just getting connected with everyone
has more been for you to kind of learn.
Exactly. For me to learn, be in this world, and just have him meeting new people and experiencing things. I think it's so important for him to be experiencing everything so he can learn all of these different ways of living. So, and of course the events, that's the main thing that we've been doing here at the Lighthouse. We've been to the beeping Easter egg hunt every single year, and he's loved it every single year. And we'll keep coming to all of the events that I think would be beneficial for him. And as he keeps growing older, maybe he can attend some of the older events. But yeah, that's pretty much what we've been doing here at the Lighthouse.
You mentioned the beeping Easter egg hunt. We do all kinds of events like that. And we have a wonderful person down in the recreation department. Her name's Kathy, and she gets it going, man. And
it's amazing.
I was telling you before we started filming about the Halloween carnival that they do, and it is like mind-blowing.
We'll be here for that this year.
Yay. Well, so what is it like experiencing activities like this designed with blind children in mind?
Oh, it's amazing. It's awesome. I love it. Without this, I don't know how he would feel. I feel like he wouldn't feel included. I feel like he wouldn't feel, it helps him feel special. You know, it helps him feel like he has activities that he can engage in. And it means everything to me. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so blessed that I can bring him to these types of events and a place like this. And I hope that we can create more spaces for him like this and other children, of course. And I'm really passionate about that, just having the world be more inclusive. And you guys have really inspired me to do that.
Thank you. And I'll tell you what, it's so cool. Like I've worked here for 26 years. So I'm old, but anyways, but like hearing the fact that people are coming from other parts of the state to come hang out with us. That makes it, just makes us feel so special. And we really appreciate all of the love because that's really cool. How has finding, a community of parents and professionals and blind adults even shaped your confidence and then your hope for Elio's future?
Yeah, so like I mentioned at the beginning, that was the biggest key and piece to gaining confidence and strength to push forward in this journey. And without the community or meeting people and them telling me, hey, it's a little bit different, but he's going to be okay and he can do anything he wants at the end of the day, that really helped me to change my beliefs around what I originally had thought. And there's not too many, it's unfortunate, there's not too many children with the SOX2 gene deletion. There's about, I think, maybe 3,000 kids in the entire world. There are people in the entire world that have this. So it's very, very rare. So it's hard to connect with those families, but there's obviously a lot of visually impaired people in the world. So just connecting with them and asking about their experiences and also asking about tips and tricks. What can I do with him? And just asking all the questions. I just do interviews with like everyone. I'm like, okay, give me the rundown. What can I do? What will, make me the best parent for him? And it's been so helpful. Without that, I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't know anything. Especially the visual and impairment and mobility and orientation teachers. They completely transformed my entire world in my life. I love them so much. We still are in contact with them since we were displaced for a little bit. Right. We had to stop seeing them, but we're still so connected with them, and they completely changed my entire world view of how to view this and empowering me. So I'm so grateful for them too.
Right. And even, setting up your home. And doing all that kind of stuff. Like they're so great for all of that. Because, you're going to learn that your home is going to be littered with bump dots. Like they're going to be all over everything.
Oh, yeah. We have a swing in our living room. We have a trampoline. Nice. I went crazy in there. I was like, let's do everything we can do.
I love it.
Yeah.
Your story is deeply, deeply, deeply moving. It's so cool to talk to you. And it's not because of the challenges that you faced, but because of the love and the creativity and the courage that you bring to motherhood. Your journey is a great reminder that every child deserves a world that welcomes children exactly the way they are. So before we close, can you share like a message for parents who are facing a diagnosis that they never expected, like Elio, or, who are feeling alone in this kind of journey?
Yeah, of course. I think the biggest message that I would want to say to those parents, or really anyone in the world, is to just believe in yourself, that anything is possible, and the only thing that's holding you back from doing something is yourself. It's those limitations or those beliefs or those mindsets that you might have accumulated throughout your life, and those can easily be shaped and changed into something more positive. And as soon as you start to give yourself that self-love and self-belief, you can walk throughout the world with confidence and be more positive. I think that is the biggest key to life, really.
Absolutely. Well said. And again, thank you for sharing your beautiful story with us today. This has been an awesome conversation. Your voice is a reminder that community and compassion and connection can transform even the hardest thing into something that's very, very meaningful. So this is wonderful. To our listeners, we hope that today's episode encourages you to embrace differences, seek support, and celebrate the unique ways that each child experiences the world. Be sure, obviously, to check out more episodes of Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential and follow the Lighthouse of Houston on social media. And then also visit our website at houstonlighthouse.org to learn more about our programs and services. And until next time, this is Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential. Stay bold, stay determined, and keep unleashing your potential.